What
There we go.
was that?
Whoa.
Is that what you do in your spare time?
The fun things you can find online for free. I got to put that thing together for free online.
I feel like that should be our title stinger. We should be live, and then we should go, "Hey guys, what did I miss?" And then that's our title.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, maybe we'll do that next week. That was, yeah. I don't know. The resources that you have now on the internet that are free for creation and stuff like that is unreal. So definitely,
There's a lot of stuff that's free for viewing.
Yeah. Yes, that too, Rob. But for creating things, there's a lot of resources for you to be very creative, and I highly endorse those things. So welcome everybody to our weekly news show, I guess we're calling it. So What I Miss, starring Chris Ho and my good buddy Pat. And me and Rob are along for the ride. So Rob from the 905 and myself, you'll see us on the Sidekick Show on Mondays, as well as Heroes World Podcast and all kinds of fun other things. But this is the news. So the idea is to catch you up on whatever you missed out during this week, which is great because I think I missed everything because it's a bonkers week with crazy stuff going on. So without further ado, I'll let Chris or Pat take it away because I have no idea what's going on. So.
Yeah, I'll start off. I'll start off with the segment. I guess my favorite segment, or the one I'm trying to spearhead here and get going, was my box office report for the weekend, domestic box office report for the weekend. So this week was a little weird. We all thought In the Heights and Peter Rabbit would come in, and Peter Rabbit 2, would come in and dominate. So these are more family-friendly date movies, maybe, or date. In the Heights, maybe a date movie, and they underperformed. They all got wiped out by John Krasinski's A Quiet Place 2, which I don't know if you want to put up the graphic for me, Pat, now.
Yes, sir. Doing it now.
Pat, do it
so your weekend box office goes. So Quiet Place with 12 million. In the Heights, basically about half of its expectation, 11.5 million. And The Conjuring, 10 million, and Peter Rabbit, surprisingly, fourth place.
Oh, didn't even crack top 3, eh? Yeah. So kids aren't going to theaters. Is what we
I guess
ascertained.
Yeah. What are we gathering from this information is I think we maybe overestimated whether or not people are going to movie theaters for non-action or non-thriller movies. I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, I think. Go ahead, Rob. Rob probably knows.
Oh, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Go.
You got a better handle on this.
You make your point, and then I'll just correct you. Go ahead.
Well, actually, one thing too about In the Heights, I mentioned it to John earlier. For In the Heights was people. It was simultaneously streaming on HBO Max, but after the poor numbers came in, I guess the CEO or somebody at HBO Max kind of weighed in, and he basically said, numbers are same across the board. It just people didn't stream it either, so it wasn't us. Basically, I don't know if that's corporate talk or just kind of like shifting the blame, but they kind of put their hands up and said it's not our fault. HBO Max was not the reason why this happened, and there was a bit of controversy with the lack of Afro Latinx representation in it, but anyways, I'll let you guys speak. What do you guys?
Yeah, that's a whole controversy that they've got to deal with. But would you consider A Quiet Place a date movie that you could take a date to? I think you could, right?
Yeah.
It would be the same type of horror movie. Would you ever bring a date to a horror movie? But I feel like Quiet Place looks like more action. Like it leans more towards action-y than pure horror, though, right? A lot more shooting.
Yeah. But I think because I was gonna say it's groups of friends that are kind of comfortable together that are going out. But Quiet Place and The Heights I guess are date movies. So they're I think they're working. And The Conjuring, I guess, could also be a date movie or a group movie. They serve multiple purposes. So my guess would just be that there is groups of people that are comfortable going out. They could be a couple or it could just be a bunch of friends. And these movies fit all those, except for, I don't know, In the Heights, you could watch with friends who are into musicals or something like that. I don't know. But Peter Rabbit, I guess the families aren't going out as maybe. Like, you're not going to go out with a group of 4 like and the kids. I don't know. What do you think, Rob? Correct me.
No, well, no. I think In the Heights did not do a good marketing job. I think that a lot of the problem with a lot of these movies is a lack of marketing. To be able to for people to understand. I think when they see movies are available to watch in theaters and stream at the same time, if you don't hype up the marketing train, they're not really going to invest regardless. I think that it's no surprise that A Quiet Place 2 is doing so well. Yes, it can be considered a date movie, but here's the reality. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are just two very likable actors, right? People really enjoy watching what they're into. It's not surprising that The Conjuring, I mean, it still made $44 million, but
they're arguably the biggest star power out of these top four.
That's right,
at, right?
Yeah, but The Conjuring,
I think you're right. You're so smart, Rob.
Yeah, but
look at this.
The Conjuring is the third Conjuring, but it's like the ninth, and it's in it. And I think this time of year for The Conjuring is just wrong. I think that it would probably have fared better if it was in the fall. So, up against A Quiet Place 2 or The Conjuring, people are going to pick Quiet Place 2 because of its star attraction and the people that are involved, right? And I think The Conjuring is a very more.
Oh, Rob's so smart. Yeah, so basically, Quiet Place versus Conjuring, Quiet Place wins that fight because of its mass appeal.
Right. And they're also kind of eating each other's audience, right? Because they're similar movies in the sense of horror thriller, right? So I would say, if Conjuring wasn't around, maybe Quiet Place would be doing even better, or vice versa, right? So
I feel like as of right now, though, you're really only going to the theaters to watch what John and I would call a popcorn movie, right? Like you're not gonna take the risk and go to a theater and sit there and watch like Peter Rabbit.
What's Spirit Untamed? Is that based off that children's cartoon show?
Yeah,
my daughter would love that.
I think. Well, Pat's right. Pat's right about taking a risk. I think we need to separate how we view things with how our American neighbors view things. Because listen, you have 40,000 people all into a stadium. So what they view as risk / reward is vastly different than what we do currently. But I agree with you. The likelihood is parents are probably still not comfortable taking families and kids because there is no vaccine for kids under 12 still in North America. So I think that's right. I mean, I bet you if Peter Rabbit had debuted on a streaming service, like where you could purchase it, like how Cruella did, it would have done very, very well in terms of its streaming box office as opposed to in-person box office.
All right. Great insight, guys. So let's just go into the game. I kind of started.
Thanks, Chris.
Predicting the.
Well done, Rob. Well done, Rob.
Predicting the summer, I guess, order. Well, for this round, it was the order. We only out of all of us and a possible, I guess, 12 points, we only awarded 2 points, and that was me and Pat correctly predicting The Conjuring would be third place. So we kind of have a redo this week. So me and Pat are on leaderboards there tied, but let's try it again. Let's do a top 3 for this next coming week, and then we can get into when Fast 9 comes out, what number that'll do, and whoever's
Fast 9 is going to be number 1.
Yeah, no duh. So one thing this week released yesterday was The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I will give you some insight on that it did come out yesterday and had about a $3.9 million gross for a middle weekday on a Wednesday. So it seems to be quite something that could be quite strong. And it is the first action type movie since we kind of had this resurgence of the box office. So anyone care to venture a guess on their top 3 first?
Go on, Pat.
I'm always going to pick the newest movie first, even though it's clearly not right, according to last week's stats.
So you'd say Hitman number 1?
Yes.
What do you got? What do you got number 2? Just that same order, Quiet Place and Heights, then?
Sure.
Okay, so Pat is going chalk today. What about you, Rob?
I think The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife was smart to release on a Wednesday because it gives it now 3 days or 2 days to get into the weekend and build up with a little bit of hype.
Yeah.
You don't. While I don't think that this movie has been marketed as much as say Free Guy has, I think you don't mess with Ryan Reynolds. So I agree. It'll be number 1. I actually think In the Heights will take number 2. If you look at the weekend box office gross, it's about $500,000 difference between In the Heights and A Quiet Place. So I would venture that In the Heights will probably rebound a little bit with this controversy and become number 2, and Quiet Place will take third spot.
All right, John. Hitman first for John. I think we're going to do a sweep.
I want to copy Rob's answer, but I'll go a little out of the box. I'll say Quiet Place continues to dominate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Followed by Hitman's Bodyguard, and then third place In the Heights.
That's a very viable. No, but that's very viable. You never know, right?
Known quantity of Quiet Place.
I feel like Hitman's Bodyguard, even the first one, wasn't like gangbusters. It was just like a fun movie that showed up. Like me and Pat saw it in the theaters, and it was fun. But I don't think it was a chart topper.
Yeah, I just think people want an action movie. Again, it's the first one, so I'm going Hitman's first. I'm actually going to go Peter Rabbit second because I think these kids movies have a consistency. Legs. Yeah, what is legs? Yeah, and then I'll do Heights because
I feel like In the Heights is going to get word of mouth if it can get past. They've owned up to the controversy. They've released statements, the director and the studio and things like that, addressing the issue. So hopefully that can help get them past it. And I don't know if they can make it right on this movie, but maybe if there's a follow up or something like that, or at least everyone is aware of the situation.
My gut tells me Pat's going to win because he's got Quiet Place coming in as number 2, and In the Heights is 3. Yeah, I think he's going to win because I think that HBO Max succubus can wreak havoc. So we'll see.
I think it's an urgency thing too. Like it's like I can always catch this streaming at any point. It's not something I need to urgently watch like this weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
That might factor in as well. But anyways, all right. So that's my box office game. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. Sorry, not
thank you, Chris.
Next week. All right.
I can't wait for the week the Green Knight comes out. We'll be seeing how that rolls out. That movie looks sick.
All right, into the news bits. This one, I didn't want to report this one, but like I said previously to you guys before, every website I went to had this as its headline over the week. The creators of the R-rated, animated comedy Harley Quinn on HBO Max revealed that they had to cut a sex scene involving Batman and Catwoman, where I don't know how graphic I want to get with this, but where Batman was performing, oral sex on Catwoman.
Why are you blushing?
Basically,
it is a ridiculous story. It is a ridiculous story to report.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, DC executives had to cut it, and they said basically, heroes don't do that. So what do we think, guys? Is this the type of censorship we want?
I think it means people will be looking to villains for more love then. If heroes aren't doing it, the villains are where it's at.
But yeah, this was I guess this is a salacious headline that you can get on and get web traffic on. But yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get as wet as my shirt. Anyways, if that's all the thoughts you guys have on that topic, I'd love to move on.
Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier in the comments. Sentaku Select mentions that Batman did have a scene with Batgirl in one of the Killing Joke movies. So, but I don't think it was that graphic.
well, it was also kind of implied, and it was just like regular sex.
Okay.
So Batman can do it like missionary. He's good. Yeah, everything else is off limits.
It was okay, right?
There's a DC whiteboard that says what's okay and what's not.
Right? It's funny because that I don't believe that was rated R, but the Harley Quinn show, which we all love, is rated R.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that I mean, I guess that's really trying to protect your brand more so than content, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the idea is okay, maybe just not with Batman.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Cunnilingus notwithstanding.
Riddle me this.
But you take Batman and you put him in Fortnite. You've got Superman. You have your DC characters. And Marvel did it as well, where they're all using guns. Which goes against the brand of Batman if we're using that argument. Not that it's not a valid argument, but if DC are willing to accept that allowance, that is a game targeted at younger kids, which completely goes against what the character does in the comics, which comics are targeted to, or they would like to be targeted to younger to mid to older, like a wider range of individuals, then why not allow something like this to happen in a cartoon that's strictly, it should be only made for adults? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see why there's such a definitive line on that. You can have sex. They can probably do freaky shit, but you can't have him going oral pleasure. And I don't understand why that's a big deal comparative to using your characters, your brand characters in a game where most people are in their young kids are playing Fortnite shooting with Batman, right? So that's all I'm saying is that how do you differentiate?
I think the problem is, Rob, is that hilariously or unhilariously, the idea of shooting people in a video game has been normalized, right? Whereas the idea of maybe like oral sex with Catwoman is not, right? Okay, can the whole brother stop laughing? We're talking about really serious things here.
There's serious issues about
Sarah is killing me. It's hilarious. Anyways, what up, Sarah?
Okay. What? It's a very serious topic. You have to talk to your kids about that. Guns are normal.
It's not.
But you know what? Actually, Pat, you make a very good point. Now, I get that most of these companies are only thinking about U.S. audiences, but in Ontario and in other provinces, that act of sexual, fun is being told and explained to kids at a younger age than what are consuming these cartoons, these older. Do you know what I'm saying? So I get that they're thinking, no, we don't want that. We have to think globally or maybe more focus in the borders of the U.S. But I just think it's kind of a closed-minded thing. It's not like you're not watching Batman the animated series and you have Kevin Conroy going, "Oh yeah, this is great," right? Like tastes like peaches.
Okay. So
good Lord. So okay, John, final point on this.
Have you guys watched both?
My kitty.
Have you guys watched both seasons though? I've only seen season 1. Pat, you've watched season 2, right?
I don't remember how the season ended.
Yeah, but have they done anything anywhere close to this? There was a lot of dick jokes in season 1 and things like that.
There were a ton of dick jokes. There were a ton of blood.
I don't think there was anything visual.
There was a ton of implication that Harley
Kite Man and Ivy and stuff
were lesbians, and they kind of do get together. But like, in fairness, there wasn't like large amounts of sex in the first season of it. Right?
No, we also don't know. They cut the scene. They've cut the scene, so we don't know if it was cut. It was animated and it was cut, or if it was cut during the scripting process. I imagine it's already been animated, but we don't know if you actually saw it or if it was a silhouette.
Seems like it would be implied. I don't think
it was probably the first thing that was animated, by the way.
Do this first. Do all your this first. Your best work on this.
I call dibs on that scene.
Everything else will happen. All right, guys. Let's. All
right, let's just
talk about.
Let's clit it out, and we'll move to the next one.
Oh boy.
I have never seen Chris look so red. It's like as if he took a couple of shots and you're
all right. Next bit of news. I guess presumably after the how do you pivot from this?
You can't. It's impossible to follow that up. Because not only was it number 1, like a really awkward topic.
No, it was 69, wasn't it?
And then it was like Sarah randomly jumping in at the perfect time, which was hilarious. Anyway, so go ahead. We'll try to continue. Okay. Although we should just probably cut it now.
All right, let's pivot now to more wholesome topics. Okay, so presumably after the rousing success of the Wednesday premiere of Loki last week, DC Plus announced that it's shifting all its original series release dates to Wednesday. So, what do we think about this new midweek format? Are they trying not to compete maybe with movie releases on Friday or other releases? Wednesday seems to be a good idea. I think did you guys enjoy watching Loki midweek?
I forgot about it because it was midweek.
Okay, so
Pat's only sober on weekends. The week stoned.
I completely forgot it was that. Yeah, I watched it like late last night because I forgot it came out.
Yeah, so I actually threw up the question on this new thing I'm trying out called Square Off, where you propose a question. It's like, and the majority of people actually quite enjoy the Wednesday release because it frees up their Friday now and their weekend, because now you can try and catch it on Wednesday or Thursday, or if you have no choice, to watch it on the weekend. I don't mind it. I feel bad for those people who might be worried about spoilers. I did look for the new episode of Big Shot to see if they accelerated that, but I guess it doesn't kick in this particular round. Maybe it kicks in next batch of shows. Yeah, hey, hate on that show.
No one cares
it's
about
a great show. It's a great show. Watch it.
You know, I listen. Obviously, the numbers are what the numbers are. So they obviously saw that it went through the roof, and maybe they're comparing it to, excuse me, Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision. They're saying, "Wow, they've doubled their viewership during that first 24-hour period." We don't know.
It's like what they're doing with Hitman's Bodyguard. What you said with Hitman's Bodyguard, they're giving themselves a runway now.
Yeah. So, but is it that it's high streaming because it's Wednesday, or is it Wednesday plus Loki? So I guess what I'm saying is, if there was another John Stamos show that was releasing on a Wednesday, would it also do high numbers comparative to being released on? We don't know. We don't know what that
John
variable
Stamos
is,
had
right?
2 shows, the world would just cease, right?
Put it this way: if they make another Mighty Ducks season, then they'll have a like for like comparison. They'll say, okay, Mighty Ducks season 1 came out on a Friday, let's drop it on a Wednesday, and you'll find out whether or not it's, is it because of the content, or is it because it's being released on a Wednesday? But I agree with John. It's likely because, it definitely frees up for us. Now there's movies that I've been putting off watching for a weekend, and now I can easily now watch. I don't have to worry about crunching a Loki episode or whatever for a review, right?
All right, I think consensus on that one. Next item, Tyrese, John's favorite, Tyrese. I fit Tyrese into the show, John. You should be so happy. Tyrese reveals in an interview that director Justin Lin plans to film Fast 10 and Fast 11 back to back, and this is for the fans, so you don't have to wait too long between those 2 movies. This thing is going
only
to 11.
His 9 was delayed for like a million years. So as a favor to you, I'm gonna film the next 2 back to back, or they want to cash in. Who knows?
Yeah. So they famously said they're gonna conclude it after 11. So this is it, right? They're gonna film the 2 back to back. They're gonna get them to you. I'm thinking a year apart, maybe. But by the time we get to 11, I feel like we're just gonna be like, enough of this, right?
It makes sense. How old is Vin Diesel? He's 53, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to be an ass about it. He's 53.
Is he really?
Yeah. So you start having him. He films Fast 10 when he's 55. What's going to be close to 60 if he was to do Fast 11? Like, I just think it actually makes sense as your actor is aging. Yeah, he's 53 years old. As your actor is aging. They're filming Mission Impossible 7 and 8 back to back. It's not necessarily for economics. I'm sure the story ties together, but it's also recognizable and cognizant of the fact that Tom Cruise, you put in 2-year production or 3-year production in between those 2 movies, that adds. So why might as well make it all back to back? If you can hammer them out in like 2 years together, then right?
Yeah. Also be concerned because there was something else Tyrese said during an interview recently that did not go over well and was not factual. I don't know if that's coming up later in the news or not.
She didn't have that. I didn't want to. Yeah, basically he said Morbius was in the MCU and they quickly just like X-named that. So I figured.
Let's not put too much weight on it, but it does 100% make sense. Yeah, film those back to back, get them out a year apart for sure. Yeah, especially since this one has been so delayed. Do it. Do it now.
He was 53.
Yeah.
Okay.
Triple X was a long time ago, man.
Was it? Oh,
Street Sharks was a long time ago.
Or that Space Gate movie he was in. What's it called?
Riddick?
Chronicles of
Riddick. Just the first one was Riddick.
Pitch Black?
Pitch Black, yeah.
Pitch Black, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 25 years,
Long
right?
time ago,
So
yeah.
listen, we just rewatched the Fast 1. Right? 20 years ago. So he was 33. He still had the outline of hair. Right? Like you can tell 20 years adds a lot to somebody. Regardless.
He should get a hairline done, which would be friggin' hilarious in the next movie.
All right.
Yeah,
so there's a lot more to get to. So I'm gonna just rattle off these last headlines real quick. Okay. Aquaman, the Aquaman 2 title was released. It's Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom. Womp. Okay, big deal.
Yeah, better find it.
Okay. So if anyone remembers,
yes, no. We don't know. Next.
So if anyone remembers the Space Jam 1 soundtrack, that was an iconic soundtrack with a lot of great tracks. They just released the track list of Space Jam 2. And from what
Who's
I'm
on
told,
it? Who's on it?
You know, there's a lot of artists on there that, you know, all of us except for John probably never heard of.
Probably not R. Kelly.
We have been told, yeah, well, definitely not R. Kelly. Maybe a cover of one of his songs, but okay, so I'll name off some of the people on this.
I think I heard it. Yeah, I think I heard at least one person on it. I forgot who, but it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Lil Baby.
Yes.
Chance the Rapper.
Yes.
John Legend. I've heard of John Legend.
Yeah, if you like some slow ass songs.
No reason why John shouldn't be doing this part and you instead.
Okay.
You're basically naming right now John's playlist.
Well, the next one is Jonas Brothers. I don't know if Jonas Brothers is John's playlist.
Totally is.
And then the other one, I there's a longer list. I was trying to get a screenshot, but I couldn't get it. But NBA's Dame Lillard, Dame Dollar's on it. If that means anything.
Oh yeah. I think he did some rap. He did some rap beef stuff. I think.
And then some other names I didn't recognize. You know, these were the ones that were, I guess, outlined in the headline. Anyways, maybe John can look at it and tell us which ones are going to be good. Anyways, so there it is. There's your soundtrack for
well, did you say Da Baby or Little Baby?
Lil Baby.
One of them.
Yeah. Arguably one of the.
Wait, did you say Baby Spice?
Right,
is that who you're saying? Is it
Baby
Spice?
Didn't sing. She didn't sing, did she, Pat?
I don't know. Why would I know?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Baby Spice was the blonde
one.
Why would
I know that? Like, I don't even know who you're talking about.
You're a liar. He's thinking right now.
Okay.
Nobody can prove that.
So, last item before I hand this off to Pat for the rest of the show. It's a Mortal Kombat Legends sequel is coming this summer. So following the success of the previous animated Scorpion's Revenge, and then there's also that live action movie that, you know, came out. Won't comment on how good or bad that was.
It was excellent.
Yeah. We're gonna see a new sequel to that, a sequel to the animated one that is this summer, and it's gonna be called Battle of the Realms. So, you know, it's coming this summer. I just thought, you know, that might be something that, you know, we all like Mortal Kombat here. Some of us do. We did a bunch of podcasts on it, and it did well. So yeah, Mortal Kombat animated feature coming out this summer, Battle of the Realms. So that's it. That's all I have for the news. My news items. We're gonna throw it over to Pat for pictures with Pat and some E3 stuff, right?
Yeah. So we're not going to discuss Mortal Kombat, right? Because I don't really want to discuss Mortal Kombat.
We're done with that. Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Cool. Let's move on.
So we're doing it. Pat.
So what was on the internet this week? Well, first of all, this was revealed. This was one of multiple.
Batman, Catwoman, Batman.
No. So this is a picture from some of the stuff, some of the I guess promotional materials that was given to the staff, to the crew of the movie Thor: Love and Thunder. So everybody's assuming this is what the characters look like, and this is the first, I guess, in costume appearance of Jane Foster / Natalie Portman as Thor on this side, as well as a redesign of Thor's costume holding the Stormbreaker, and I'm guessing that's
Valkyrie,
right? Yeah.
Cool.
So that was on the internet. Was also this that was hang on. Where'd it go? There it is. So this was the Flash logo that was kind of revealed / teased. It's on the internet. It's part of this. I'm guessing this is part of the CW show stuff, right?
No, this is the movie. This is a Flashpoint movie. Yeah, this is part of his costume. It's a costume tease.
Do we like that?
We don't know which part though. Could be his chest. Could be somewhere else.
I will give you
could be the crotch. What are you trying to say, John?
I'll give you $20 if it's not his chest. Where else would it be?
Could be his ear. Okay, doesn't he have in his ears?
Could be his ear. Could be on his nipples.
Who knows? From now on, Chris and John are no longer allowed to comment on ridiculousness. No,
anyways, what do we think?
Listen, I love this. I love it. I love it because I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, the chest emblem. I bet you it will probably glow white and be like, oh, it's like Tony Stark's arc reactor. But I think it's way better than what we got with the Zack Snyder Justice League suit. I'm not a fan of that suit whatsoever. I definitely wasn't a fan of the emblem on it. So I like this. You can tell that there's lines in there where the lightning is going to be coming, flying through. I think it's going to be very taking a lot of liberty from what Francis Manipold did with his Flash costume when they did the New 52, where he had the lightning, the lines all through it. They've tried to kind of replicate that on the CW show, but I think this will be done. It'll be more animated looking, right?
Movie
I'm
budget,
down. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just hope he runs better than he did during the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. None of this flying. Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
And we also got, again, thanks for Entertainment Weekly. We have a first look at Titan Season 3, Scarecrow and Barbara Gordon, as well as Dick Grayson. Check that out. Who do you guys actually watch this show? I'm looking at Rob. What do you think? What do they look like?
They actually released it. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
They released a teaser today, a 1-minute teaser for season 3 of Titans. It looks pretty cool. I mean, they're taking a lot of liberties with stuff, especially with the death. Well, or I guess the beating of Jason Todd. You do kind of see that in the teaser. He comes out as the Red Hood later on. So, but yeah, no, this is pretty cool. I mean, listen, I haven't seen our buddy Vinny here since Mad Men, so. I'm all for it. I mean, it's an interesting look for a Scarecrow. Obviously, he hasn't changed yet. He's probably still been arrested as Dr. Crane, right? So, yeah. I like the show. Personally, I like the show. I know that it debuts in the US on HBO Max at the end of August or mid-August. They're dropping 3 episodes and then doing weekly. In Canada, we only get it on Netflix, and it won't it's usually about a month and a half to 2 months for it fits in the US. So we can probably look to it sometime, if not December, then January of 2022.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the main things that kind of was on in terms of pictures over the internet. However, I did want to take a couple of minutes and talk about E3. We talked about E3 last week. We talked about how E3 has kind of changed. Oh no, hang on. I actually have toy reveals. I completely forgot about this. So I was gonna roll into this because this was like a toy thing, but my bad. So
Invisible Spider-Man.
Couple of more, like this is a new Spider-Man toy that was revealed from the Marvel.
Is he invisible or is he made of ice?
He is invisible. He's supposed to be invisible, and it's Miles Morales from the Spider-Man game. Yeah,
cool.
Listen, I don't want to be a weird guy, but his middle section, his crotch section looks really weird. Like,
no, it's just you.
It's
whatever you're looking for, Rob, is what you're seeing. So.
Well, okay,
you're wanting something to happen.
No, I'm saying is that,
guys, let it be. What's up with this? Like, it's just, you're all looking at this piece, right? Right here.
Now I can't see it. Now I can't not see it.
I know. I can't not see it. You wouldn't notice it if he wasn't invisible.
That's an unfortunate pose.
Why would you ruin everything?
But now look at it. Look at it though in the package. No, look at it in the package. As well.
Take it off the screen for now.
Okay. What else, Pat? What else we got?
Great. Now I got Spider Dong. Way to go.
No, we don't. Oh, this also. Yeah, no. Let's just talk about E3. We're running short on time. More importantly, I wanted to get that picture of Miles off the screen so Rob would stop staring. So E3. Did any of you guys watch E3? Watch any of it?
I watched some stuff, yeah.
So E3 normally is it functions like a trade show, right? And the problem with this year is that
who opened the show? What acts opened the show?
What acts opened the show? Well,
yeah.
E3 normally is like a 4 or 5 day event that you kind of go in, you walk around, take a look at stuff, kind of like a convention. But this year, with everything moving online, it kind of sucked. It really, really sucked.
Hold on, maybe it was all right for some people.
Like there was like a day. There was like it's supposed to begin on Friday. Like there's supposed to be 4 official days, but then the day before that, like there was like a pre-show, kind of like they call it the Summer Game Fest, and it was the day where they just kind of had they had Ryan Reynolds debut the new trailer that we saw the other day. John, remember that never seen before trailer of Ryan Reynolds?
Free Guy.
In Free Guy, right? Mm-hmm. They reviewed that. Jeff Goldblum told everybody that there was another Jurassic World Evolution game, right? And Kojima, like Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear Solid fame, he told everybody that he was working on something, and it was just a director's cut of Death Stranding, right? But he was already
I'm working on something.
So how do you direct your own game?
I'm not just chilling at my house, my state. I'm working on something,
right?
guys. Don't worry.
So it was not very. The best thing from that day was the reveal of Dark Souls or of Elden Ring, which is basically Dark Souls 4, right? And there are people in the comments talking about right there, right? That's coming out. Then, like, on the second day, Ubisoft, there was no Splinter Cell. There was nothing Ubisoft did. It was all just games that you've already expected coming. There was, like, a new Rainbow Six game that was basically like a Rainbow Six zombie game.
Yeah, it was like a Left 4 Dead Rainbow Six. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it was called Rainbow Six Extraction. It was actually originally designed to be called Rainbow Six Quarantine, but I don't think that kind of worked out. Right?
Rename it.
Yeah, like, there was a Mario Rabbids game. And then I actually have one thing to show that I liked from like the second day was there was this one teaser image of the cast of the Borderlands movie.
Oh.
Now Gearbox, the thing is, Gearbox's thing was basically one guy going around interviewing everybody, and everybody at the movie set looked really awkward. They just didn't feel like they wanted to be there, right? So, but then this is like an image, a teaser image of the silhouette, because I remember how I showed you like a little earlier, a couple of weeks ago. This is more of the cast. So you actually see Kevin Hart as his character in the right side, because obviously he's the shortest one, right? He's kind of chilling, and I'm kind of excited about this.
Yeah, Kevin Hart was on the Breakfast Club, and he said he trained with Navy SEALs, and he's going to do something different for this role. So I'm excited. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this movie, right? But besides
the character he's playing is pretty vanilla.
It's a soldier. It's a soldier, right?
He's like a pretty boring guy. He's like the one character no one picks.
Yeah, the one wants to use.
Yeah, he said it's a soldier type, and he trained really hard for it, and he's not. He said he's not doing his usual thing, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like
Pat makes a really good point though about like you can just. I mean, listen. We all know Pat's a gamer. Anybody who watches this knows Pat's a gamer. And if you don't know Pat's a gamer, just look what's behind him. You can tell in his background, Pat's a gamer. So you can tell the disappointment in his voice with his E3. And I think that that's not just because of Pat. I think that everybody, I remember when G4 was around and they were, E3 was a huge spectacle and you would watch all this stuff and you'd be so excited for these trailer releases and game drop information. And you'd be like, oh my God. And you would see, you'd have throughout the day, you'd have hardware stuff like new controllers that are coming out or headsets or any peripherals. Like it was like crazy pandemonium. It was fun to get excited about stuff releasing for video games. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic, it took the wind out of their sails. I don't know if it's because of that devs are at home working and may not have been able to make anything, but it feels like last year and then this year it's not enough. It's like a drop in the bucket of what E3 used to be. And I don't know if that's because now Sony has their own state of play and Nintendo's got there and Microsoft has their, like, even the Halo, I guess game feat play that they showed, or whatever, the teaser, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat to watch, but it had no hype around it. Like, none of my friends were like, oh my God, did you see that new Halo? Like, it's gone. So I don't know what it'll take to bring Halo's it back. I don't know if it's just...
Yeah.
Halo's but the problem, though, is that, like, it used to be an event, like you said, but now it's not. It's just a bunch of prepackaged clips, right? Yeah. So when you're sitting there and you're watching, like, when you're watching these clips, you're basically wanting to know information. And as much as I'm excited for the Borderlands movie, I don't really want to sit here watching a 15-minute segment of a guy going around interviewing the cast, and the cast doesn't look like they give a damn, right? And then, like, even somebody mentioned, I think Lewis mentioned, like, Xbox and Bethesda had a really good reveal. But it was basically just a bunch of YouTube trailers. Right? Yeah. There's no interaction. There's no people coming out of the crowd. Nobody dressing up, right? Yeah. Like every year, Ubisoft used to have like a Just Dance opening dance number. They couldn't even do that. I hate Just Dance, but like having an opening dance number made it feel extravagant, right? But now it's just trailers. And speaking of Xbox, outside of the Halo Infinite multiplayer stuff, nothing mattered. Well, Forza. If you're a car guy, they did like a really nice Forza video, but everything else that they reveal, it's just more Battlefield stuff, more Sea of Thieves stuff, and they really sell the DLC stuff now.
Yeah. I will say that there was actually one thing that you didn't touch on, and I'm a little bit disappointed because it was probably the best thing that came out of E3, Pat. The Microsoft Xbox cooler mini fridge. Did you do this? They are actually selling a mini fridge that looks like the Xbox, whatever it is, Xbox XS or whatever it's called. Now, I'm on an Xbox guy. I would buy that fridge, man. I'd put it in my office here, and I'd drink, and I'd think of you every time I opened it up, man. This holiday season, Pat, you know you're gonna get it.
No.
No, it's not a Nintendo. It's not a Nintendo product. He's not gonna buy it.
I would buy a lot. If it was a Nintendo fridge, I'd buy it.
You nerd.
Now, in fairness, the only thing I was really excited for when we talked about it was the Nintendo one, and all they did was reveal again. Like there was a new Metroid game that got revealed. It was like a game that was canceled and then like re-put together called Metroid Dread. And like besides that, it's still just more of the same stuff. I was excited about the Zelda, Capcom reveal, but again, Capcom showed nothing new. And after being hyped for E3 for like 6 months or like building up to it, it just didn't meet expectations, and it was kind of disappointing. It was kind of disappointing. I don't like the more I think about it, the more disappointed I am. Right? Like I don't know what to say. I really don't know. There isn't much to report because I didn't want to like grab screen caps of everything, but it just was. I just don't know where the industry is headed in terms of these type of trade shows, and it kind of sucks. You know?
Yeah, the biggest reveal for me was the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I don't know if that was something that people knew was coming out. I saw it and I was like, that's pretty cool. I guess the biggest thing about that is though, like, you know, you wait and you watch it and then you're like, oh, that's not Chris Pratt and that's not Dave Bautista. Like, do video game characters based on, I guess, movie properties or not based on a comic property that also is a movie, do they need to look like the movie property to be successful? Like, I don't know, that Avengers game got released and I never played it because I just like.
Yeah, but it looked like shit. That's because all the costumes were atrocious. That's because Captain America, like he had 3 layers of armor on.
Yeah,
that's why he looked like he was wearing a Batcatcher's outfit with on top of a SWAT outfit on top of like, you know,
the Steelbook looks really nice.
Yeah, they don't look like that. But yeah, it is arguable that like if that game came out and all the skins looked like the MCU characters, if that would have worked.
Well, you watch that trailer and they're going for the movie feel. Like they're going for the exact tone of the movie.
The Spider-Man game came out, doesn't look anything like Tom Holland, and it gangbusters because it was a good game. So I don't think you need to have screen to game represent. It doesn't have to look like, it just has to be a good game. And Avengers, they knew they had a shit product and they kept dropping free to play stuff to try to gain some type of momentum, and it worked against them.
I mean, like at the Square Enix conference, all they did was reveal more Avengers DLC and like telling you that there's Resident Evil DLC and that there's like a bunch of remakes on your phone. The fact that they're remaking games for your and one of the platforms is your iPhone, you're kind of like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And no Switch Pro announcement.
Oh, no Switch Pro,
like
like
come on.
Expectations, right? But I think it's going to get revealed at some point if it's happening. It's been about 4 or 5 years now. Like the Wii U's lifespan was about 4 or 5 years. It's time for a new system. But like we were discussing before, once you get more news, we'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But overall, E3 was a huge disappointment, I'm sorry to say. And as much as excited I was about it, it was not good.
Well, maybe next year E4 will be better.
Yeah. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, not so much.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Pat. That's E3 covered with Pat, aka huge downer.
Downer Pat.
Here we go. It all comes back to Batman and Catwoman. It's all coming down.
Discuss that in the after hours, after dark.
We should have cut. Yeah, we should have cut it. We should have cut it after that.
Yeah.
We should have opened with E3.
Let's get into the weekend, guys. So what do you guys got planned for the weekend? Let's go down here to John first.
So you know what I'm going to say? Big Shot finale is airing. also more
who's
for
the
more
basketball like every show has like a reference person, like, you know, you got a medical show, you got a medical person. Who's the basketball person?
They're called doctors.
Reference. Yeah. Well, you could be a nurse or like somebody who works at a hospital, but like, I mean, like, who's the basketball reference person for that show? They need to be like
Who knows?
Eliminated.
The basketball is not important about that. The important part is the interaction of John Stamos and the cast, the rest of those girls and stuff. But also, Kevin Hart's Fatherhood comes out on Netflix this weekend, I believe. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
It is Father's Day Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
What happened to you, man?
I've already watched Loki. Loki's already in the can for Wednesday. So what's left? What's left?
All right, Rob, save us. What do you got going on the weekend?
My weekends are consisting of drinking. And in terms of entertainment, I'll be playing some Fortnite. And actually, my son and I, because I essentially forced him to watch the Fast Furious 1. He actually enjoyed it. We've done 2 tonight. We're finishing 3, and we have to get through to 5 for Monday's Sidekick Show. So we're going to be crushing 4 and 5 this weekend. And then there's some other movies that have come out on Crave and Netflix that I want to see.
How did he enjoy 3 in the?
Well, we're halfway through Tokyo.
He hasn't got that.
We're halfway through Tokyo Drift. We're halfway through. We have an hour left, so that's for tonight to finish off.
Yeah. Have fun when they put that Skyline engine in the Mustang. That's where
he doesn't care. And guess what? I don't care either.
You should care. You should care.
Drive a 69 Charger.
He's 12 and a half years old. The only thing he's driving is me crazy. So no.
Which one's
That's
worse?
a great song.
2, 3, or 4? Which one is the worst one out of those 3 then?
2.
They're all to me. They're all.
I think no. I think 4. I think 4 is decent. 3, it has a lot more going for it because of Justin Lin's direction. So unfortunately, I think 2, even though it's got my guy Tyrese in it, is probably the silliest. It's definitely the silliest and cheesiest of all of them. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, you guys will discuss it on the Sidekick Show. Sorry to get into that.
But still, that the finale of 3. Let me know how you feel after that finale of 3, and if your son is like, "What the hell just happened?" Go ahead.
He'll probably like the Hulk car. Anyways, Pat, what do you got?
I'm gonna finish this last half of season 5 of Lucifer this weekend.
Nice.
On Netflix. It dropped a couple of days ago, and I was binge watching the rest of it. And then after that, I'm going to play Fortnite on my PlayStation 5 and figure out if I can figure a way to hook these up. These arrived. Check it out, John. I didn't show you these yet.
You incredible nerd.
Cool.
Have fun getting picked up by alien ships and dropped in the in the purple stuff.
Slurp. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Watching Netflix and playing some Fortnite.
I was trying to binge Lucifer too. It's a fantastic show. I'm on episode 3. Oh, really? This is my binge.
In between episodes, rewatching Top Shot.
In between episodes of Big Shot, yeah. Fantastic
Big Shot, sorry. All right. Thanks, guys. I think I'm going to watch In the Heights. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody asked you.
I want to see it. I want to see
Chris, what do you got planned for your weekend?
I'm asking myself, all right? This is what I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to watch In the Heights.
No, what is your other option? Hitman's Bodyguard? I don't think it's available. I don't think it's going to be rentable.
You just scour the dark web for the cut Catwoman Batman scene.
I'm sure you can find
commission an artist to do it for us, and we'll put it up.
You can fanfic that, but yeah.
From what I know, there's fanfic of everything.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's all me and Pat have. John, take us away. What do we got going on this week?
So like Rob mentioned, Sidekick Show coming up on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Fast 5, the definitive turning point of the series, where it all really started to cook and went crazy. And we'll be discussing that, and we'll probably be discussing everything kind of in between what happened with 1, 2, 3, 4, and the direction it took after 5. So that'll be a lot of fun. The Heroes World podcast might drop a little early because of Father's Day coming up. So that will be covering Loki episode 2. Fantastic episode. Definitely check it out before it gets spoiled for you. And then I think that's all we got. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Rob is on break for the 905, so his show will be returning next week, I believe. Rob, or are you doing a
no, it should be
siesta or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, siesta. That's nap time in the afternoon.
Should be next week. For the summer. It's like
I've just like Conan O'Brien.
You should release a 5-minute video of you taking a nap by the pool.
Oh, I've got it, so I should do that.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, Rob will return next week with videos on the 905, and thank you very much, Pat and Chris, for putting all this together. Hopefully, there will be more fun video game reviews for Pat, so he's less of a downer.
I'm not the downer. I'm not the downer. E3 was the downer. I'm just channeling.
E3 was the downer. All right. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in and commenting and getting the comments. Thanks for Sarah for dropping in at the exact perfect time for such a great gag. Almost as good as remember Tim's drop in. I don't remember what episode that is, but we should link that drop in to where Tim randomly showed up. Thank you very much, folks. We will catch you guys on the next one.